Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Africa-China Trade Import and Export Showcase. The Africa-China Import and Export Showcase will bring together buyers and sellers from Africa and China to showcase their products and services to promote trade between two continents. Before we get started, I'd like to go through some housekeeping. At the bottom of your screen, there are multiple application engagement tools you can use. All the engagement tools are resizable and movable, so please feel free to move them around to get the most out of your desktop space. You can expand the slide area or maximize it to full screen by clicking on the arrows in the top right corner. If you have any questions during the webcast, you can submit these through the Q&A engagement tool at the bottom of your screen. We will try to answer these during the webcast, but if a fuller answer is needed or we run out of time, it will be answered later via email. Please note, we do capture all questions that are asked. For the best viewing experience, we recommend that you use a wired internet connection and closing any programs or browser sessions running in the background that could cause any technical issues. For the best audio quality, please make sure your computer speakers or your headset are turned on and the volume is up so that you are able to hear our presenters. Some networks cause slides to advance more slowly than others, so logging off your VPN is recommended. If your slides are behind, pushing F5 on your keyboard can help to refresh the page. You can find additional answers to some common technical issues located in the Help Engagement tool at the bottom of your screen. So I'd like to welcome our first speaker, who is from the Hunan province, Mr. Li Zingqiu, the Deputy Director General, Department of Commerce of Hunan Province. Over to you.
尊敬的各位来宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，非常高兴参加此次线上推介活动。我谨代表湖南省商务厅，对出席今天线上推介活动的各位来宾致以诚挚的祝福。2020年是不平凡的一年，在新冠肺炎疫情面前，中国和非洲团结抗疫，共克时艰。2020年正值中非合作论坛成立20周年，这为中非合作的压舱石和推进器。中非经贸合作规模持续扩大，合作领域逐步拓宽，合作方式开拓创新。面对世界百年未有之大变局，中非间更加需要加强全方位、多领域的合作，共同努力开创中非关系美好未来。这为中非合作论坛经贸举办措施的新平台，中国非洲经贸博览会应运而生。这是习近平主席在2018年中非合作论坛北京峰会上宣布的中国新时期对非合作8大行动的第一条举措。首届中非经贸博览会于2019年6月在湖南长沙成功举办，为中非合作注入了新动能，也让中非各方对博览会在促进中非经贸合作方面抱以更大的期待。今年，根据形势变化，我们将博览会的交流机制转到了线上，并组织了100余家湖南企业参加此次中非进出口商品线上展，产品涉及机电、纺织、医疗用品及日用品等，希望与非洲联盟委员会和非洲进出口银行加强合作，广泛邀请非洲各国协会、采购商、贸易商与参展企业开展线上对接，让大家足不出户，洽谈订单，建立联系。作为中非经贸博览会的长期举办地，湖南省于今年9月合批建设自由贸易试验区，并将打造中非经贸深度合作先行区作为3大战略任务之一。 这是中非经贸博览会后，湖南拥有的又一个对非经贸合作的国家级平台。湖南将围绕这2个国家级平台，筹备办好中非经贸博览会，并围绕深度与先行2个关键词，建好中非经贸深度合作先行区，建设对非经贸合作长效机制，打造非洲可可、腰果、咖啡等非资源性产品集散、交易、加工中心，中西部对非合作物流和人流中心，地方对非经贸合作筹建中心，中非跨境人民币服务中心和地方对非经贸合作研究中心等5大中心，从而探索形成中国地方对非经贸合作的湖南模式。未来，湖南省必将在中国地方开展对非合作的版图上占据举足轻重的地位。希望中非各界新老朋友多多关注湖南，支持湖南的发展，加强同湖南的合作。女士们、先生们，第2届中非经贸博览会拟定于2021年9月在湖南长沙举办，将启用新展馆和会议中心，围绕中非经贸合作重点领域举办形式多样、内容丰富的活动，加强经贸项目对接会撮合，为各国企业提供更多交易机会，正应这项博览会的实效。展览展示环节除展示中非合作成果和非洲国家形象外，还将设置非洲商品展区，突出展示非洲各国品牌企业和特色商品，帮助非洲国家高品质有特色的产品通过中非经贸博览会平台进入中国市场。此外，还将开启线上云展览、云对接，促进展会的数字化、现代化升级。衷心期待各位有志于中非经贸合作的有识之士的关注、支持和深度参与。欢迎大家明年9月相聚湖南长沙，共襄盛会。最后，预祝2020中非进出口商品线上展取得圆满成功，祝大家身体健康，工作顺利，谢谢。
开放、合作、共赢。2020中非经贸博览会云上会展系列活动蓄势待发，即将启航。中非线上供需对接会、网上购物节、进出口商品线上展，3大平台全方位呈现云上展览，项目对接、投资洽谈、论坛研讨，跨境电商5大经贸活动场景。为合作带来新机遇，为发展注入新动能。中非经贸博览会诚挚邀请您关注和参与，共同开创中非经贸合作美好未来。
Thank you very much for that welcome from the Hunan province. Next up, we have the Africa Products presentation. And first up, we have Gerard Amangwa, the Deputy CEO, Côte d'Ivoire Exports Promotion Agency, who will give us a presentation on products that come out of Côte d'Ivoire. Mr. Gerard is an MBA graduate from the University of Baltimore, Maryland in the US since 1982. After, apologies about that. After earning a Master of Management at the University of Paris in France in 1979. His double profile of a senior economist and manager has helped him hold several senior positions in the overseas offices of the US government, namely as senior commercial officer at the US Foreign Commercial Service at the US Embassy in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, from 1984 to 2002. And in the private sector as Deputy CEO of Apex CI, a very reputable trade promotion organization based in Côte d'Ivoire in sub-Saharan Africa. He also held several senior positions at the private sector's umbrella organization, CGECI, and Executive Director, Global Compact Côte d'Ivoire, and regionally an Executive Director of NEPAD Business Group, West Africa. Mr. Gerard, I now hand over to you to take us through your presentation. Mr. Gerard, are you with us? Please turn on your mic. And we are having a small technical issue with Mr. Gerard's microphone. Mr. Gerard, are you with us? Please turn on your mic and take us through your presentation. Okay, we will assist Mr. Gerard on the back end, but let's move on with our program. We have another speaker who is from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Mr. Awolowo, who is the CEO. He is the Chief Executive Officer, Executive Director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. NEPC is Nigeria's apex organization.
You hear me now?
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, but all right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. First of all, well, I think you made a good introduction of myself. I just want to commend Mr. Lee, I think from Union Department of Commerce, for his speech. And I would also like to take this opportunity to greet and thank all of you, Afrexim Bank, AITF, Union Province officials, for organizing this webinar and having Apexi on this important event. It's a real pleasure and honor for our organization to take part of this high-level platform, which will focus on Union Province and the African Import and Export Showcase. I don't know if you still hear me. Just want to be sure. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Absolutely.
Okay. So on behalf of my CEO, Guy Bang, which is also IATF itinerary ambassador, which is following this webinar, and all our staff, I'm delighted to participate in this event. So if I can show you my presentation, I don't know if I have it on the screen. Yes? Okay.
Yes, it is on the screen.
Okay, it's on the screen. And to move on, I gotta do when? You have it now? Okay, do you have the second page on the contents? Do you follow me?
Yes, we do, Gerard.
Okay, so the second page, what I'm going to talk about is the introduction and the country brief, the economic and trade relation with China, the key products exhibited, and I made a conclusion at the end. So to start, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't see it on my screen. Since 1997, our organization has positioned itself as one of the most experienced trade promotion organizations in sub-Saharan Africa. The mission of our organization is to promote products and services made in Côte d'Ivoire to the international marketplace. Our staff are bilingual and private sector-minded approach. And we have also a database of local and international consultants, more than 200 consultants. As far as the products are concerned, we have three major products. We have what we call FAMEX, which is a portfolio of sectorial studies and support programs that we propose to our clients. We have the FAMEX, the FADEX, I would say, which is a matching grant funds to support the SMEs activities throughout the world. And we have the Apex base, I just talked about that just 2 minutes ago, the database of consultants. Concerning our services, as we know, all TPOs are involved in trade facilitation, either for exporters or for importers. We also focus on capacity building program, mainly focusing on quality control, marketing, production, management, logistics, and export awareness issues. Another service that we provide is a support program for exporters to participate in trade fairs and exhibitions like the one the director just talked about. On the market access information and business advocacy, we have been very active over the last 15 years with government inquiries and private sectors as well. For strategy and performance issues, we provide some business counseling for market penetration and market development. Our key achievements, well, one is the national export strategy that we contributed to formulate and implement on behalf of the private sector. Second is the business environment and climate that we help improve through some of the leadership that we had with the World Bank and donors. And the last, not the least, is the leadership that we have on the regional side, particularly leading one of the sub-regional trade promotion organization network we call WIOMU TPA network, and maybe soon another larger one, which is the ECOWAS TPO network. Coming to the country brief, well, you know, this kind of webinar is very important to take this opportunity to present the country. So Côte d'Ivoire is located in West Africa with a population of 26 million inhabitants. Compared to China is a tiny, number, tiny figures. We have access to the sea with two important ports, Abidjan and San Pedro, in the southern part of the country. Our urban population is estimated at 50%, which give really some of the assets for market development and consumer goods. We also have Abidjan, which is one of the major economic gateway city in West Africa, which is populated of 6.6 million inhabitants. Other cities involve Yamoussoukro, which is the political capital, Bouaké, Daloa, Gagnoa, San Pedro, Korogo. Yeah, I just want to know how to move it. Okay, so this one I think is still on the country economic performance. Côte d'Ivoire is a member of YMU, which is a regional organization of 8 countries using the same currency pegged to the euro, with a population of 80 million inhabitants. We also are a member of ECOWAS, which is a regional organization in West Africa, which is composed of 16 countries with a population of about 300 million inhabitants. Do you hear me? And we also are a member of the African Union, continent of 1.2 billion inhabitants, member of the United Nations, where in the some of the economic and trade agreement that we have, we are member of the World Trade Organization, International Labour Organization, and many others. As far as the country's national development plan, we had 2 already being implemented, and the recent one is being under preparation, 2021 to 2025. And we have seen some real impact on the national economy. In 2011, we had an economic recovery plan to deal with post-electoral crisis that we had in 2010. In 2015, the second National Development Plan had about more than 27 billion US dollars with 60% contribution from the private sector. And currently, we are finalizing the recent one with the objective of more industrialization, manufacturing, and industrial-based expansion, including numerous ready industrial park areas and agribusiness facilities. As far as the average rate of growth, we have 8% for the last 7 years. The GDP reached 6 billion US dollars, almost triple since 2010. And FDI climbed to 1.5 billion US dollars in 2019, compared to $350 million in 2010. GDP breakdown is as follows: primary, 24.5 to 15.7. You see a change on the processing. Secondary, 22.4 to 23.2, just a slight increase. And services, which is very important, 33.9 to 42.9. The relation with China, I'm going to focus on the 2015 to 2015 to 2019. China and Côte d'Ivoire have increased and strengthened their relationship in early 2000 within the ECOWAS-China partnership framework, as well as on the bilateral cooperation. I remember first time I went to China, it was in 2007 in Beijing, and we came there with the ECOWAS-China trade mission. And that was really the first, I think, the first milestone that most of the countries in West Africa had with China. China is the third trade partner with more than 100 corporations operating the country in various sectors: infrastructure, on bridging, dams, highways, water supply, sport infrastructure, security, ITC, and telecommunication. China, particularly in the Chinese direct investment, were directed to infrastructure, like I said, agriculture and agro-industry, And with China Exim Bank finance with more than, I think, about 7 billion US dollars. So during the period covering 2015 to 2019, Ivorian exports to China have increased tremendously from $195 million to $371 million. Key products exported to China include rubber products, cocoa beans and derivative products, minerals, cotton products, and shea butter products. Chinese exports to Côte d'Ivoire have also increased during this period. In 2015, from 1.2 to $1.8 billion in 2019. So the key products that China is exporting to Côte d'Ivoire include agricultural equipment and machinery, electronic devices, mechanical apparatus, chemicals, car and tractors. So coming to the main issue that we were talking about, we want to talk about on the key products that I wanted to exhibit for our country. There are several with a lot of export potential. I think it's here, with a lot of potential. Today, the majority are raw materials due to the weak percentage of processing and manufacturing. The current trend is toward raw materials, agricultural and mineral. However, in the future, it is critical to look at processed and added value products from the following products. One, cocoa and cocoa beans and derivative products. As you know, our country is number one in the world in the production of cocoa beans, with 40% of the world's supply, about 2 million tons of cocoa beans. These raw agricultural products are used for chocolate making, cocoa paste, and cocoa butter, which is semi-finished product. Currently, these products are exported to Europe and North America mainly. Some are exported to Southeast Asia. And those products are utilized in the world chocolate industry, baking and pastry, as well as cosmetics product and supply. Key stakeholder, right, involve multinational, European, French, American, Chinese and Indian, and local corporation. As for transformation, about 50 is done today, and over the next 5 years, this could reach 75%. There are room for bean exports, processed cocoa, and possibility of cocoa processing investment here in the country. Again, cocoa products are utilized in the world chocolate industry, and we think that there are room for that between China and Côte d'Ivoire. So, concerning the second product, which is cashew products, the country is the #1 exporter with more than 800,000 tons and shelf, and we have the potential to export this commodity, and we're also a #1 in Africa. The derivative products include roasted and raw commodities, and this industry is full of extensive employment along with the value chain. However, remaining issues are access to international market with finished product, training, capacity building, manual work to ensure raw products, lack of adequate tools and machinery, and quality control and productivity issues. The country is not interested in exporting cashew nut anymore because there is no value on that. But we are looking for some joint ventures projects. And today we have a few local companies produced pack of salt and unsalt cashew nuts. But a lot need to be done, not only for production, but also for processing and marketing finishing products with local branding. Key players are the Conseil and Akkad Cotton, who's been traveling to China, to India, Vietnam over the last 3 years. And this is a regulatory body which dealing with the government and private sector stakeholders. The last, not the least, is rubber and derivative products. The country is a 5th African producer with 700,000 tons per year. Our capacity for transformation is estimated at 500,000 tons. Rubber products are based on the latex. Derivative products that can be manufactured such as golf, condoms, and plastic products and materials. We have first-grade products which meet the international standard, and we also have the rubber certification. Key players include APROMAC, which is the entire professional association of rubber farmers and manufacturers. Local partners are interested in joint venture to establish rubber plants along with potential international partners. Conclusion. Current trade statistics with China indicate a tremendous increase for China exports, whereas Ivorian export increased at a slow pace. There are several business opportunities between these two countries, particularly in the agribusiness, and based on the trade performance of Côte d'Ivoire on some agricultural commodities. Other products, however, include palm oil, cotton, mineral, and shea butter products. So to end up, I would like to really tell that this webinar is a good opportunity for our organization, APEXI, to showcase these 3 main products that I just talked about. And I'm willing to take some questions and welcome anyone to share their experience with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerard. Insightful. We really look forward to our ongoing partnership with IATF and learning a lot more along the way as we build up to the event in September in 2021. As Mr. Gerard mentioned, there is time for questions. Towards the end of the overall presentation, please use the question and answer facility at the bottom of your screen. We will now go over to Mr. Awolowo, who is the CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. So NEPC is Nigeria's apex organization for the promotion of non-oil exports as a key driver for the diversification of the nation's economy. He leads a team of nearly 400 staff spread across over 20 offices with a headquarters in Abuja. Nigeria's non-oil sector is a major contributor to the nation's GDP and has even greater potential, which is the reason why Mr. Awolowo is driving an ambitious zero oil plan as an economic blueprint for Nigeria. Mr. Awolowo currently serves on the International Trade Centers ITC Advisory Board. Under his leadership, NEPC won the ITC's prestigious World Trade Promotion Organization 2018 Award for the best initiative to ensure trade is inclusive and sustainable. Mrs. Udak Etokoa is with us from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council on behalf of Mr. Awolowo. Over to you. Mrs. Etokoa, are you there?
Okay, hello. Yes, I can hear you now. I lost you for a bit there. Good morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
hello.
We can hear you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so good morning, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here representing my executive director and the CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. There is already a prepared video by Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. And I think that should be played anytime now. But I just want to state before then that under the Nigeria's zero oil plan, the country has identified 22 strategic products, and we are looking to developing the value chain of those 22 products. We also know that with China has grown over time, and China for today or currently is amongst the 3 export destinations for Nigerian products. Ports of into Nigeria, and also top 3 export destination also for Nigerian export products, especially sesame. Amongst that also, we still have cocoa beans and derivatives. We have cashew nuts and kernel. We have seafood, leather, and rubber exports to China. And then please let me state that Mr. Awolowo truly would have loved to be here, but he has to attend a high-level government meeting on export promotion in Nigeria, and so he is unavoidably absent. But he will be listening in on this meeting if he does find a little time to do so. Thank you very much. I will also be ready to for questions, should there be any, after the video. Thank you.
The Nigerian Export Promotion Council is a focal agency of the federal government of Nigeria responsible for developing and promoting non-oil exports and services from Nigeria. Indeed, the council was established to spearhead the diversification of the Nigerian economy from crude oil, which was the major source and still is the major source of revenue for Nigeria. Our vision statement is to make the world a marketplace for Nigerian non-oil products and services. And our mission is to spearhead the diversification of the Nigerian economy by expanding and increasing non-oil exports for sustainable and inclusive growth. Our strategy is to diversify the productive base of the Nigerian economy away from oil and foster market-oriented, private sector-driven economy. Prior to the discovery of oil, of course, the Nigerian economy was largely developed based on proceeds from agricultural commodities. The implication is that we were always big in agricultural production. Unfortunately, we suffered the so-called Dutch disease, relying only on oil, and that is affected our potential in the agricultural sector. Now, we are looking at agricultural products, commodities, semi-processed manufactured goods, horticultural products, processed and manufactured products, solid minerals, arts and handicraft, and of course the export of services, which we feel that Nigeria has the biggest advantage really in Africa. We are, based on this, on our mandate, we are looking at the following activities towards promoting and enhancing non-oil exports. Under our export development department, we are looking at product identification, product development, costing and pricing, packaging, and product design and adaptation. We work with support of export incentives for our exporters. We are also providing advisory services and training for them. In export marketing, of course, market research is key. We are providing market advisory services for them. We look at facilitating trade fair participation once COVID is over, and even participating in virtual trade fairs for them. Now, it's based on this background that the Council has come up with what we call the Zero Oil Plan. The Zero Oil Plan is an initiative which postulates that Nigeria can earn at least additional $30 billion from non-oil sources in near to medium term in Nigeria. Today, our figures are about $5 billion. However, the key questions we ask under the Zero Oil Plan is, what will Nigeria do if she can no longer sell crude oil? How will we survive? What else can we sell to the world? Who will buy from us? How quickly can we prepare Nigeria for a world of zero oil? The plan was initiated in 2015. Implementation has commenced in Q2 in 2016. We have been incorporated in the various economic plans for the country. We're also working to develop what we call our one state, one product, which is that at least each state in Nigeria should identify one product for us that we can export. And that's our OSOP product, which has been developed to ensure inclusiveness in the economic development by carrying along the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory in this. Above all, the most important thing is the increase of production and productivity. That's what the Zero Oil Plan is all about. Now, we are also working with of course, the stakeholders and the organized private sector, the various organizations, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, for example, because we know we must really increase production. We must get these products at a substantial volume, increase our supply base based on our comparative and competitive advantage. So that is what we were focusing on. In line with the Zero Oil Plan, we are looking at market share for at least 22 choice products, comprising of 11 Category A products and another 11 Category B products. We have the list, which I will read out to you, and you know that this is where Nigeria has really the advantage in terms of these products. The first one, of course, on that category is petrochemicals and methanol. And when I say petrochemicals, of course, you know, Nigeria is a petrol economy, but we are not exporting petrochemical products, which is a big shame. So that is why the Zero Oil Plan is really positioned to let Nigeria get into that market, which is, as we know, it's a 150 billion market globally annually. Then we're looking at soybeans and soybeans meal and oil. We're looking at sugar, raw, cane and confectionery. The plan is to develop this. We're not exporting some of this yet, but we know there's a market out there for many of this. 4 is cotton and yarn, and we're looking at nitrogenous fertilizer and ammonia, palm oil, rice. Rice is big for Nigeria. We're one of the biggest importers of rice, and we need to change that turnaround, produce our own rice and then export our own rice. It can be done because countries like Vietnam have done it. So there's really no magic to that. 8 is rubber. Then we have hides and leather. And 10, cocoa, beans, paste, butter and powder, and which is very interesting because in the western region part of Nigeria, the whole economy was developed on the export of cocoa. So we need to increase our production, and we have the capacity to overtake Ghana and then to surpass Cote d'Ivoire in the production of cocoa. The other one we're looking at with number 11 under the category A products is gold, of course, and we know we have huge resources on gold, and we just have to get that right. And the only thing we can do with gold really now in Nigeria is to export it. Under category B products, of course we have cement and clinkers, which is another big thing for Nigeria, because a couple of years ago we were big in importation of cement, and now with increased production and productivity, Nigeria is suddenly, for the first time, we exported cement last year. We have big companies, Nigerian companies, that are really big in this, and we are now exporting clinkers. Number 2, again, you find most of these are agricultural products. 2 is tomato, fresh and partly processed. We have banana and plantain. We have oranges. We are looking at cashew. Cashew is also very interesting for us because we've been able, under the Zero Oil Plan, it was one of the first things we really concentrated on, and we have been able to increase productivity from some 120,000 metric tons going now to over 300,000 metric tons. And our revenue has really increased in cashew. And we're now going into value added because we're now processing cashew in Nigeria. We're creating jobs, and we want to now start exporting processed cashew. We're already exporting semi-processed cashew to the United States of America, which is good news for us. Cassava is also big for us. Nigeria is one of the biggest countries for cassava, so there's no reason why we cannot tap into that market to create jobs and build an inclusive economy based on this. The next 4 or 5 remaining 5 products, of course, offer us great deal in inclusive growth, and of course carrying women along and the farmers, and those are sesame, spices, ginger, shea butter and cowpea, and those ones really offer the inclusive growth we're looking at. Our export 22 countries, of course, are mostly outside Africa. We identify South Africa as a big potential for us, but under our African export to Africa business, we are starting with various blocks. So we start with the ECOWAS block. We know Ghana is our #1 trading partner. So we see now the plan there is we'll see what Ghana is importing from the rest of the world. We take that, we're using the International Trade Center trade tools to look at it. We look at what Ghana is importing from the world, and then we now look at what we can produce in Nigeria and just drive down the border to Ghana to export under the African Free Continental Trade Area Agreement. And we're really looking forward to that for most of our products, particularly manufactured products and our industrial products. And this is where our SMEs and MSMEs are really going to an advantage. Most of those big products, we have the Chinese market we are looking at. Europe is also there, and also to export more under the African Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA, that will soon expire. We are not shy of non-reciprocal trade agreements. If we have to do that, we know Nigeria is in a very strong position. First, when we increase production and productivity, then we will be able to thrive in this market. And that is really where we are, and we're looking forward to trading more in Africa. Of course, the whole idea behind the African Free Trade Area is to increase intra-African trade, and we are ready for that. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Awolowo. That is very interesting. And again, we are very happy to have partnered with you as an ambassador and your organization, and look forward to the build-up of IATF 2021 and seeing it all come together on site in Kigali in September next year. Next up, we have Dr. Raymond Bombuya, the Senior Economist Research and Statistics from Afrexim Bank. In 2011, Dr. Raymond joined the African Export-Import Bank as a manager and economist at the Department of Research and International Cooperation. Since 2018, Dr. Raymond is a senior economist at the same department at Afrexim Bank. Before joining the bank, Dr. Raymond was an economist in various departments at the World Bank, including World Bank Institute Growth and Competitiveness, Human Development, Operational Policy, and Country Services, and the Middle East and North African, with a focus on the GCC in Washington, D.C. from 2007 to 2011. Dr. Raymond was an adjunct professor of economics at American University in Washington, D.C., where he earned a PhD in economics in 2010. Dr. Raymond, over to you.
Yes, thank you.
Dr. Raymond, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Are you going to be sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to share my screen.
Great.
Do you see my screen yet?
Not as yet.
Okay.
Dr. Raymond, are you still there? think we may have lost Dr. Raymond. Dr. Raymond, if you can hear me, we're going to move on with the program, just in case we have lost you from a network perspective, and we will come back to you. Okay, so moving on with the program, we now move on to the presentations from exhibitors who are on the IATF virtual trade fair that you had connected to this webcast on. First, to give us some insight into their products is Mr. Leo Chu, the Deputy GM of HNAC Technology Co. Ltd. Mr. Chu has been working in HNAC for power generation and distribution business since 2011. His first power generation project started from Primorsky region, Russia. After that, he came to Pakistan as a regional director for 2 hydropower stations construction works during 2005 to 2016. With his 9 years hydro business managing and works, based on HNAC, its own power generation and distribution advanced technology, he widely communicated and built relationships with hydropower experts and officials from more than 30 countries like Egypt, Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Senegal, Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, and much, much more. With his strong capacity of business counseling and assistance with several countries' energy of ministry and local power coordinator, Mr. Chu has a perfect knowledge of the international power generation and distribution business, especially focused on the solving of problems for small and medium-sized renewable energy project financing, planning, and equipment supply. Over to you, Mr. Chu, to take us through your presentation.
Hello everyone, this is Leo Chu from HNAC. What is HNAC? Where is HNAC? Everything about HNAC you will know in the next few minutes. Come on, let's go. Okay, we have arrived HNAC exhibition room. HNAC is established in 1993. Our major business is in water conservancy, hydropower generation, pump station, power transmission and distribution, equipment supply, and engineering works contracting. HNAC is also UNIDO ICSHP control equipment manufacturer based in Changsha, and also we are the IHA International Hydropower Association silver member. The first part is HNAC hydropower and pump station automation projects. As you see, the water conservancy and the hydropower, this is our typical projects. The second part is power transmission and distribution projects. And the third part is our industrial DCS control projects. And also we are providing the electrical motor charging stations. And this is our solar projects as a distribution type and an integrated type. Another part is HNAC environment protection business. HNAC daughter company Campure is a manufacturer of the filtration in the sewage water treatment projects, and also we are the engineering company of the water supply and treatment projects. After we provided the equipment and engineering works, the project put into operation, HNAC also provide operation and maintenance service. HNAC product history has gone through with 3 generations. The first generation is an integrated control. As you can see, in the platform there were a lot of buttons and the meter with the mechanical control. Then coming to the digital control for the first distribution protection device invented by HNAC. And then coming to the digital and the smart control, which is the first remote monitoring center in China. This is the first remote control for hydropower and pump station in China, which is invented by HNAC. Then with the software, and then this is hardware. So software and hardware of the product history. Then we come into 2014, HNAC for the HZEC, the managing system for the energy. And then we come into another area, which is a renewable energy and the environment protection device. So now we're coming to the hardware products. As you can see, the products history, and now all these products was HNAC core products. We check one by one. The protection device, which is the relay. All the relay was widely used in the power generation, power distribution, and power transmission. All the products, HNAC has own copyrights, and we have advanced technologies to use in the various of the projects area. And we will warmly welcome all the countries to do the technology communication through the projects and through the products. Then we come, not only the protection relays, HNAC also have a very high-tech technologies products, which is this. This one is used in the airplane, especially using the airplane, the engine, for monitoring the engine speed of the blade to test the vibration of the engine of the aircraft. With so many years developed, HNAC has joined the member of the draft maker of China National Standard, especially in the small hydropower generation, pump station, rural electrification, remote control for the hydropower station. Okay. Also, HNAC has various of the intellectual properties with not only the technologies and also with the products. Here we go. HNAC is not only provide the products, but also we provide the training service. This is our training area. As you can see, here we come. So this is a simulated control area for all the operators and the maintenance engineers from the power station. We will provide the various training courses through the simulated control platform. All the control system, our engineers will step by step to teach how to do the components replacements, the engineering faults, alarming system analyzing, and the operation maintenance daily works. Before the engineers finish their training course, we will provide the detailed examinations for their daily operations and emergency operations. This switchgear is specially HNAC OEM products. This is an HNAC OEM product with ABB. All the components was from ABB and HNAC assembly in the factories. As you can see the logo of the brand. This KY28A series is specialized HNAC products produced by HNAC, but the design was through the national standards. And this is the ABB Unigear ZS1. These products with components from ABB and assembly in HNAC factories, which our company will have a more competitive price, but the same products with high quality. Happy working in Z-Life. Welcome to HNAC. Welcome to HNAC. I'm right here waiting for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chu. Chu is on the virtual trade fair where you can engage with him via his virtual booth. Next up, we have Ms. Ding Qi from Zhangjiang, excuse the pronunciation, Zhangjiang Ceramic Manufacturing Ltd. From Liling City in Hunan. Ms. Long, the director of the company.
Hello everyone, this is Liu Chu from HNAC. What is HNAC? Where is HNAC? Everything about HNAC.
Apologies about that. Ms. Long, who is the director of the ceramic manufacturing company, which was established in 1958, formerly known as Yongjing Factory. In 1998, it was named after, the name was changed to Zhangjiang Ceramic Manufacturing Co. And since it was established, it specializes in producing and exporting daily use ceramic products, including mugs, bowls, and plates. Over to you, Ms. Long.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel of our ceramic products. This is Ding Qi from Shanqiang Ceramic Factories. Our factory is established in 1958 and located in Lilin City, Hunan Province, China. We are specialized in producing and exporting the daily used ceramics, such as bowls, plates, and mugs. Covering 60,000 square meters, we only have 500 staffs and also have the whole set of assembly lines. Our output per day is 80,000 pieces. Now, we have passed the quality certification of ISO 9001 and the BSCI audit. All of our products are safe enough to pass a variety of professional tests, such as FDA, California 65, LFGB, etc. Warmly welcome you to visit us. I'm sure it will help you to know more about our factories. I wish we will have opportunity to establish the business relationship with you from all over the world. It's an excellent chance for this time. I'm waiting for you. Thanks for your attention and participation.
Thank you very much, Ms. Q. You can also be engaged with on your stand on the IATF Virtual Trade Fair. We will now have a presentation from Ms. Janice Costa from the IATF 2021 organizing team, who's head of sales and sponsorship. IATF will provide a unique and valuable platform for businesses to explore an integrated African market of over 1.2 billion people with a combined GDP of over 2.5 trillion US dollars, created under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The successful launch on the 7th of July 2019 of the operational phase of the AFCFTA has brought into focus the great potential for trade, investment, and socio-economic development across the African continent. Janice, please take us through your presentation.
Welcome. On behalf of Inter-Africa Trade Fair, I would like to welcome you today. My name is Janice Costa. I am Head of Sales and Sponsorship for Inter-Africa Trade Fair. I'm going to share with you briefly some really exciting information on Inter-Africa Trade Fair. African Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the Government of the Republic of Rwanda, will host the second edition of the Inter-Africa Trade Fair in Kigali, Rwanda, from the 6th to the 12th September. This will be done under the theme Building Bridges for a Successful AFCFTA. IATF is the key event boosting trade in Africa. No other event brings together more professionals under one roof. In 2021, IATF's theme will focus on the newly launched African Continental Free Trade Area, a single market for goods and services across 55 countries, aimed at boosting trade and investment. The Inter-Africa Trade Fair will provide a unique and valuable platform for businesses to access an integrated African market of over 1.2 billion people with a combined GDP of over 2.5 trillion created under the African Continental Free Trade Area. IATF objectives are to bring together continental and global players who are seeking business and investment opportunities in Africa, serve as a marketplace where buyers and sellers meet to continue exploring business opportunities, provide a platform for B2B and B2G networking and development of business opportunities, share trade, investment, and market information to identify solutions while addressing challenges affecting inter-Africa trade. And we will also share information about Afrexim Bank initiatives, trade finance, and trade facilitation interventions. The first edition of IATF in 2018 attracted well over 2,500 conference delegates and 1,000 exhibitors from over 45 countries, resulting in over 32 billion worth of trade and investment deals that were closed at the event. The second edition of the Inter-Africa Trade Fair is expected to be even bigger and better and aims to attract over 5,000 conference delegates, 1,100 exhibitors, and over 1,000 buyers from 55 countries who will engage to grow trade and investment on the African continent, and more than 40 billion in trade and investment deals are being targeted at IATF 2021. The key components of IATF 2021 will be the exhibition, Trade and Investment Forum, the Virtual Trade Fair, Creative Africa Program, B2B and B2G exchanges, Country Days, the new IATF Automotive Show, and our exciting Youth Startup Program. The exhibition will offer exhibitors opportunities to showcase their goods and services. It will provide a platform for countries and companies to identify credible partners that can facilitate foreign direct investment flows necessary for expanding Africa's productive capacity. The exhibition will have speed networking, matchmaking, hosted buyers program, workshops, and many more. The exhibition will cover multiple sectors and will run for the full 7 days with a jam-packed program. Our Trade and Investment Forum this year, the conference will address topical issues relating to trade finance, payments, trade facilitation, trade enabling infrastructure, harmonization of trade standards, industrialization, regional value chains, and investments. There will also be an opportunity for training exporters on how to access the African market and twinning arrangements with other African or global entities. Our virtual trade fair program enables virtual participation by buyers and sellers in the trade fair as a 365 24/7 platform, reigniting economies and allowing inter-Africa trade to continue. The virtual trade fair has virtual booths, hosts webinars such as these, facilitates virtual engagements between buyers and sellers. The IATF Virtual Fair is an innovative and cost-effective platform to promote, educate, and sell your products and services to a larger audience of key players. We also have our merchandise marketplace. This is an opportunity to purchase official IATF merchandise, as well as an opportunity for exhibitors to use the platform through the IATF marketplace to sell their products and services. Then we have our exciting Creative Africa program. We will be showcasing Africa's creative economy. The program will showcase the creative economy in Africa over the 7 days, including a 2-day Creative Africa Summit, 7-day exhibition with a dedicated area to a creative sector, masterclasses, fashion shows, and many more. Another key component is our Country Days. The Country Days segment, which is open for 5 country sponsorship opportunities, will present a platform for these 5 countries to showcase their trade, investment, tourism, and cultural opportunities. Day 1 is dedicated to Rwanda, and the other days have been taken by Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. Our new addition is the IATF Automotive Show. This is a dedicated area within the exhibition focused on automotive. This is the automotive's opportunity to showcase what the continent has to offer through various networking opportunities, meetings, and workshops. Another new addition is our IATF Youth Startup Program. We will have a dedicated pavilion for youth startups in Africa where they will showcase their goods and services. IATF 2021 will provide opportunity for matchmaking with venture capitalists, entrepreneurship training, networking amongst the youth, and other delegates. IATF is being promoted and communicated through multiple channels across multiple continents. The campaign includes ongoing promotions about the various components of the event through media buying platforms, including TV and digital, social media and virtual trade fair, and networking engagements through live events across the world. There are various opportunities for you to take advantage of through IATF 2021. Get your brand associated with a captive audience who would be your next big business opportunity. IATF and its affiliates are recognized as thought leaders with networks that reach far and wide. IATF offers customized sponsorship opportunities for businesses, big and small. As a partner, you will benefit from branding rights, access to over 1,000 buyers, 1,100 exhibitors, and 10,000 visitors. IATF is the only platform where you have access to meet 55 African governments, qualified global hosted buyers, and investors. How can you participate in IATF 2021? You can sign up for a virtual trade fair booth, sign up for an exhibition booth in Kigali, register as a visitor online for free, register as a delegate online for free, or you can take a sponsorship opportunity. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact us directly, and we're more than happy to assist. Our website is being regularly updated with current information. Stay in touch through our social media platforms for the most up-to-date information. We look forward to seeing you in Kigali in September 2021. We are just going to play for you a short video to excite you for IATF 2021. Thank you for listening.
Join Africa's largest trade and investment fair in Rwanda. Intra-African Trade Fair gives you access to more than 1,100 exhibitors, 10,000 visitors and buyers, and more than 5,000 conference delegates from more than 55 countries. Participate in trade and investment deals worth $40 billion as business and government come together to explore business and networking opportunities at the International Exhibition. Brought to you by the African Export-Import Bank and their premium partners. The IATF 2021, transforming Africa.
Thank you very much for that very informative session regarding IATF 2021. And as Janice mentioned, should you need any updated information, our website is being regularly updated, as well as the social media channels. And we also have regular engagements on the IATF Virtual Trade Fair platform as well. We will now go back to Dr. Raymond from Afrixim Bank, who will take us through his presentation. Over to you, Dr. Raymond.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for this. And I'd like to apologize for this technical difficulty. On behalf of the bank's management, MD, I'd like to thank the distinguished representative for the opportunity. I'm actually going to be working with Janice here. She'll be showing my screen. But for some reason, there's something on the screen, a dark space that prevents me from seeing the presentation, Janice. I don't know what is going on.
Dr. Raymond, we are able to see your presentation on the screen that is being shared.
Yes, I wanted to follow with her while I speak, but there's something is blocking a big part of the screen, so I can see when she presents it, when she shows it. Okay, I think, okay, all right. So let me just try this way. So what I will talk about, I will have an introduction, and then in the second part, I will talk about an overview of Africa-China trade. Then I'll talk about the main drivers of the Africa-China trade. And then on the fourth part, I'll talk about opportunities in the context of the AFCFTA and conclude. So I like to say that the role of international trade as one of the key driving forces behind growth, economic development, and prosperity of nations remain unquestionable. This is simply because international trade contributes to efficient allocation and distribution of resources within and across countries, and at the same time, it helps to transmit economic growth from one country or region to another through the nature and quality of goods and services traded. Evidence suggests that trade has indeed been a key driver for growth and structural transformation of many developed economies, including the US, UK, Canada, Japan, and that it has played a key role in the recent impressive growth of development of emerging countries like China, India, South Korea, Brazil, among others. While Africa has not been left out of global trade, it has been influenced by its colonial past in terms of who it trades with. However, in an increasingly globalizing world where diversification and strategic partnerships are increasingly becoming important, African governments have been making efforts to diversify their export destination and import sources towards the South, particularly Asia, led by China. So the next section of this presentation, we talk about an overview of Africa trade, discuss the drivers of the growing Africa-China trade, and the opportunity for further expansion of bilateral trade, especially in the context of the AFCFTA. So, as I was saying, Africa has actually historically been traded more with Europe, particularly with the European Union, than any other region in the world. So this is because of this historical and colonial ties between these two parties. What we see now is that the trend has been gradually changing as Africans increasingly diversify their trading partners towards other regions, particularly Asia, led by China. So even though Europe remains the largest export destination of Africa, the share of Africa's merchandise export to that region, which averaged about 40% during the 1990s, has been declining steadily to average about 29% in the decades 2000-2010 and to 26.06% in the decade 2011-2019. However, Asia's share has seen a spectacular increase from just about 4.3% to 13.6% and 23.96% respectively during the same period. So the growing ties between Africa and Asia reached a turning point in 2018 with the weight of China when Asia's share of Africa's export reached 27.43%, exceeding for the first time the share of Africa's export to Europe. And that trend continued in 2019 with the deepening trade tie between Africa and Asia and the steady decline in Africa's export to Europe. So the figure here, Janice, could you move to slide 5, sir? Could you hear me, moderator? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, so the figure here shows the Africa's export destination by region, and you could see clearly how Asia has overtaken other regions. Of course, Asia led by China. So on the next slide, so China has been the main driver of the rising trade relationship between Africa and Asia, essentially, basically. So Africa's merchandise export to Asia grew by 17.52% to 141.13 billion in 2019, from 120.36 billion in 2018 and 96.66 billion in 2017. Of these, the share to China has remained above 50% during the last 3 years, as it grows to 56% in 2019, and from 51% in 18 and 52% in 2017. At the same time, China's share of African merchandise export to the world also increased steadily to 17% in 2019, from 14% in 2018 and 13% in 2017, although that share was less than 1% during the period 1990 to 2000 to 1994. So you see the increase, the spectacular increase trade relationship between China and Africa. So the next slide, slide 9. So you can see here Africa's export destination by country. You could see again how China is almost an outlier in the. You can see the increasing the upward trend of China when other countries in Europe and the United States have been declining in terms of trade relationship with Africa. So we could also see a similar trend, a similar pattern when it comes to sourcing of import by African countries. So even though the EU has historically been the largest market for African import, its share of African import has been decreasing steadily, reaching 25.6% in 2019, from 26% in 2018 and 27.4% in 2017. In contrast, the share to China has been trending upward, overtaking other import markets for Africa. So as the graph shows it, again, Africa is importing much more from China than any other countries in the graph here. So this again shows the strength of the trade relationship between Africa and China. The next slide. So here we say that this performance simply consolidates China's position as Africa's single largest trading partner. So when you talk about individual countries, so Africa has in fact become China has become Africa's single largest trading partner. So Africa's export to China are essentially dominated by raw material, primary commodities, especially energy products, metals and minerals, agricultural material, while mineral fuel, electrical machinery and equipment, machinery and mechanical appliances, vehicles and parts dominate Africa's imports from China. So what have been the main drivers between the increasing trade between China and Africa? So this geographical shift in Africa's export toward China largely results from growth stagnation in Europe, triggered by the 2018-2009 global financial crisis, which was exacerbated by the fiscal and sovereign debt crisis, and have reduced Europe's demand capacity for Africa's commodities. Adding to that, the increasing shift of Africa's sources of import toward China largely derives from several factors, including protracted economic difficulties in Europe, with declining industrial production and manufacturing output contrasted with a strong economy in China, boosted by rapid technological advancement and innovation with low output costs, which have made China a world factory. So these are some of the key reasons why trade between Africa and China has been rising. Now, what are some of the opportunities in the context of the African continental free trade area? So we do believe that the implementation of the AFCFTA will make Africa a powerful economic force, an important destination for investment. The agreement will bring together 55 African countries with a combined population of more than 1.2 billion and a combined gross domestic product of more than 2.5 trillion, which will make the continent one of the world's largest free trade areas and a single continental market for goods and services with free movement of business person and capital. And a key objective of the AFCFTA is to help Africa move away from commodity exports toward promoting industrialization and development of regional value chain to boost intra-African trade. Achieving this will require significant investment to set up manufacturing plants across the continent. So this creates tremendous investment opportunities. Infrastructure development will also be essential for achieving the objective of the AFCFTA in a context where there is huge infrastructure gap, and closing it will also require between 130 billion to 170 billion per year, while financing this gap currently falls short of between 68 billion and 108 billion per year. So there's a lot of room for investment. So this gap simply means opportunity for investment in transport, information and communication technology, roads, railway network, aviation, among others. Important production and distribution of energy will also be required to successful development and sustainability of Africa's industrialization agenda. The current $9 billion investment in electricity per year requires additional 44 billion investment to meet Africa's annual demand. So again, there is a huge opportunity for investment in terms of energy, electricity. Afreximbank also has been continuing to work, supporting the implementation of the AFCFTA through several initiatives and programs which contribute to create partnership and make Africa an investment frontier under the agreement, the Continental Agreement. For example, we're looking at the establishment of industrial park, which is important to support export processing in Africa. So what the bank is doing is supporting the establishment of industrial park and export processing zone in a number of African countries with focus on agro-processing and light manufacturing. We also have what we call the Customer Due Diligence Repository platform of MANSA. So the bank has launched that platform, which is digital. Which is a digital platform to improve access to international traders to basic KYC, know your customer, and anti-money laundering information on African entities. So this was the first digital KYC and CDD utilities. So in the context of increasingly stringent regulation and associated compliance costs in conducting customer due diligence, there was actually a need to provide a single source of primary data for conducting customer due diligence check on counterparties in Africa. So this platform will make it possible for KYC checks to be quickly done on counterparties, thereby boosting investor confidence and reducing risk perception behind the trade and financial flow into Africa. And we also have the automobile value chain under the AFCFTA. Currently, only South Africa and to some extent Morocco have been able to develop the automobile industry. However, even in these countries, there are challenges. So the AFCFTA provides an opportunity for establishing a viable African automotive industry. The bank is already working with the African Association of Automotive Manufacturers to develop regional value chain in the automotive industry. The development of that industry will also catalyze other sectors such as petrochemical industry, electronic industry, leather, textile, steel industry, etc., creating further investment opportunities. So, in conclusion, I'd like to once again thank the distinguished representatives of the different institutions from the China Yunnan province, which will not just build the foundation of our partnership, but also strengthen our relationship with China, which is a shareholder of the bank. So the growing trade and investment ties between Africa and China during the last few decades suggest the strength of the Chinese economy and Africa's commitment to sustain that relationship as part of the continent's effort to diversify its export destination and sources of growth and gradually improve its position in global trade.
中金的各位来宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，非常高兴参加此次线上推介活动。我谨代表湖南省商务厅，对出席今天线上推介活动的各位来宾致以诚挚的祝福。
Sorry about that, Dr. Raymond. Thank you very much for those insights on the topic of Africa and China and the interaction of the two from a trade perspective. We now have a couple of minutes for some questions that have, as mentioned earlier, if there are any questions that we don't get to, we will address those via email. The first question that I have is for Mr. Gerard. The question is, do you think the implementation of the AFCFTA will impede Côte d'Ivoire's trade with China? How do you think Côte d'Ivoire can sustain its trading potentials with China under the AFCFTA? Dr. Gerard, are you there? Mr. Gerard, will you unmute to answer the question? Okay, we'll move on to the next question, and Faith, your question will be answered via...
On behalf of Inter-Africa Trade Fair, I would like to welcome you today. My name is Janice Costa.
Okay, we will go on to the next question. The next question is for Mrs. Otokowa. Mrs. Otokowa, will you please turn on your microphone and I will read out the question. The question is, will Nigeria look at doing more trade within Africa once the AFCFTA is fully implemented, or maintain exports to China? Mrs. Otokowa, are you there to answer the question? Okay, we seem to be having a few connectivity challenges. We will then respond to that question via email as well. Then moving on to another question with regards to the exhibitors from Hunan. In order to customize mugs for the present, can you offer draft design adopting our logo, elements featuring African style? And what is a MOQ? That question is for you, Miss Key. I believe Miss Long is standing in for Miss Key. Miss Long, can you answer that question for us?
Okay, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Yes, of course. Customize the mark are acceptable. We have our own designer team. We can make them for you according to your requirements. And furthermore, our company can make your samples within 3 or 7 days after confirming the designs. So please let me know the details about the mark you want, such as the shape and size, capacity, and the dimension, weight, and so on. So our MOQ is 1,500 pieces per design. Per shape, 3,000. Yeah, it's okay.
Great.
That's all.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so moving on to the next question, which is for Mr. Chu. Can you offer a small solar power generation equipment and small power management system? For example, building a small solar power station for a village. Mr. Chu? Mr. Chu, are you able to answer that question for us? Mr. Chu, can you hear me? Okay, we will answer these questions via email. We have run out of time today. Thank you very much to all the speakers who have presented today and been a part of this very valuable session focusing on Africa and China. We look forward to seeing you all on the 19th of November on the IATF Virtual Trade Fair platform. We will be hosting a fashion-focused webinar looking at the creative industry. Please watch our website and social media platforms for more information. And if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact one of the IATF team members. Thanks again for your time. And we'll see you on the 19th of November. Goodbye.
Goodbye.